Vincent Mugaba. Vincent, I believe, is joining us from Rwanda or from Uganda, and he has a really interesting initiative he's involved in. So I'm glad, Vincent, you raise your hand. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Uganda, and hello to everyone, wherever you are. I'm Vincent, working with Kwezi Outdoors, based in Kampala, Uganda. Actually, it's coming to midnight right now. It's 11:21.
Yes.
Mine is the comment. I don't know. Is there something, since we have so many people who are involved in tourism at government level? Some years ago, I think there was a declaration under AEO of having open skies. We talked about trying to see that the tourism industry rebounds, encouraging domestic and regional travel. And flights are some of the most prohibitive factors in travel between African nations. Is there a way that we can lobby, based on the group members, that we can lobby to see that that declaration in Yamoussoukro, which was made in Yamoussoukro, comes into operation, that is implemented, so that we have the open skies policy around Africa to put down the prices, but also to lobby individual governments to put down taxes on air travel around Africa.
Thank you very much, Vincent. And I don't know who wanted to respond to this. Cuthbert, I unmuted you. I don't know if you have anything you could advise, Cuthbert. Maybe this could be a good discussion point, bringing into the project Hope for Africa as a discussion.
Yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate. Yes, it's one of the challenges we have, especially in Africa. I was surprised when I flew from Johannesburg to Tanzania a few weeks ago or so, which was more expensive than flying to London. So those are the challenges we have. I think it's one of our advocation where we're trying to bring all the role players together and see how best we can work around that. The honor still lies with our authorities, which I believe that with this vehicle, with one objective, it's something we can push as an agenda to involve all member states and see how best we can promote regional and domestic tourism, so that people will be able to travel at a very reasonable rate. We're working on that definitely. So with your inclusion as well, let's synergize, let's get together, let's see how best we can pull this agenda together.
Thank you very much, Cuthbert, and thank you, Vincent. I don't know if anyone else, airline connectivity, of course, is a problem in Africa. Taleb has a comment. Taleb, I think
yes,
you're
please.
unmuted.
Yes, thank you. This is one of the opportunities that comes out of a crisis, really, because we've been lobbying so long to have open skies and open visa regimes as well in African countries. I think the need now to open up the regional connections in Africa would force probably some governments to rethink this. I think it's our time to try to change this into an opportunity. There is no reason at all why African countries have so much strict visa regimes between themselves. You know, people can also travel to other countries by car if there is a good highway system. But airlines are very, very important in this regard. So I completely agree. I think the Africa Tourism Board must pick up this, work with the AU to try and bring this back to the agenda now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taleb. And I think we have an expert here who has been in the aviation industry in a very leading role. And I know we had this discussion with him at some of the Roots conference. I remember specifically in the Seychelles, I don't know how many years ago. And I know he's no longer with Etihad Airways, but he was also in charge of bringing airlines together, and connectivity must have been a part. And I just chatted, sent him a chat, and he said he would say something. That's Vijay from Singapore, who, and I really have to say, Vijay, I'm so glad you're still on there. It's now 4:30 in the morning where you are. Go ahead. I think you have to unmute. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, I think it's good you mentioned time, because I think it's a wake-up call for everybody. when it comes to removing the obstacles to a sensible growth of tourism in any country. I think that with the situation right now, unprecedented as it is, and countries which will try to recover and get their economies back on track will need to focus on tourism. And in so doing, we'll need to actually identify, actually it's already been identified, we just need to actually start working on removing each and every obstacle to tourism growth. And that starts from regulatory arrangements, including visas and other similar setups, and an air access policy, which actually will encourage airlines to fly into their respective countries, as opposed to making it more difficult for them. The challenge, obviously, for this discussion now will be the fact that many governments are very focused on trying to save their national airlines. And as they do that, they may overlook the need to actually protect the wider national interest. And I think a discussion with governments in terms of how they can help their airlines, but also how they can help tourism pick up very quickly after travel restrictions and the psychological impediments are removed, would be very helpful.
Thank you, Vijay.